Yeah. He'd be like, why are you so dry? Why do you act like you don't give a f? Because you give me no reason to give a f. And I'm not even trying to be that that's like heartless or whatever, but honestly, truthfully, I don't need a texting buddy. We're not in high school. I don't need a, hey, what are you doing? Oh, my mom went to sleep. You want to have a phone call? No. I'm grown, pushing 30. So if you're not planning dates for me, if you're not taking stress off my plate, if you're not booking me a massage, paying for my nails, doing something for me as a provider, male figure would in my life, I'm going to act like I'm going to text you for fun when I'm bored. And then when I'm not texting back and I'm being dry, it's because I'm not bored. I got things to do. I got to book my own flight. I got to take care of my own massage, my own nails, because guess what? I've been doing it for almost 9 years because y'all can't seem to get it together.
My name is Taylor and I approve this message. Don't be fooled by anything I'm about to say. I'm really just joking half the time I ever talk or anything comes out of my mouth. But the qualities I look for in a man, if you are interested, since I'm in my single mingling stage. Number 1, tattoos. Woo! Get in my bed. Get on top of me and caress me. That's inappropriate. Number 2, you're a good dad. Woo! I feel like I'm only into dads nowadays, so sorry. If you don't have a kid, go get one. No, I'm just kidding. Dad. Good dad. And you're nice to your baby mama. You're respectful. That is key. Number 3, drives a truck. Oh, I drive a truck, so don't let me pull up next to you in your little Honda. I'm kidding. Seriously, not hating on anyone's car, but your car, where's your truck? Number 4, dad bod. I love me a good dad bod. I go to the gym every day and I still will hop on dad bod before 6 a.m.
You know what my favorite thing ever is when a woman follows me and she starts to realize that her man ain't, and then she sends me a message and she's like, oh my God, I just left my 10-year relationship because of you. He was so abusive, mentally, physically, even maybe. I was so miserable. I had lost myself. He didn't love me the way that I wanted to be loved. You helped me to really understand that. He had me manipulated. That's quite literally my favorite thing. It's like the best compliment next to you're such a great mom. That is the best compliment ever. Okay? So it just tells me, like, I'm out here doing the Lord's work, okay? By making these women understand that some of these men just ain't. And you don't have to accept bare minimum. I know I made a video like this already, all right? I get it. But, like, if you're new here, you're just now seeing this, follow me. Because I will make you understand just how little your man actually does. And some of you guys are giving them and yourself excuses because it's comfortable, because you have kids. Keep following. One day, you'll be like, you know what? She's right. I'm done. You'll get your ass up and you'll leave. And then you'll thank me because you're going to live your best life ever. You'll see the happiness that you'll have with him not in your life, and you're going to be like, damn, I wish it had not taken me so long to leave. My favorite compliment. My favorite compliment ever.
Okay, before I get into the video, I need to point out that that last woman gets a kick out of keeping her friends single. This is what the sisterhood does. They're like crabs in a bucket, pulling each other down instead of climbing out of the bucket themselves. Now, here's one of the biggest realizations that the MGTOW philosophy has brought to attention in recent years. It's how much of a liability it is to get involved with a single mother. And what we're seeing are men deciding to refuse to listen to the lies and propaganda and gaslighting of modern feminism. Society tells men they should date single mothers, and that's because society is gynocentric and fully prejudiced towards benefiting women at the expense of men. But luckily, men are refusing to listen and are instead listening to each other. And what we're learning from each other is that the negatives of dating a single mother far outweigh the positives. Before we get any further into the video, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Max Wilson, who said, I worked in the news industry for 10 years and women are insane in the workforce. Women were constantly crying and having mental breakdowns. Never happened to the men. Most of us laughed about it behind their backs. We're not the same. Male-dominant work environments are definitely better than female-dominant work environments. So please, don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It could be the funniest, could be relatable, or the most liked one, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps out the channel a ton. Now, let's get back to the video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow.
Being a single mom is so lonely. Like, it's so hard to date, first of all. Being a single mom, I'm in the military, so I don't have my family here to help me with my kids. And my kids' dad only does the bare minimum. He only wants them the 4 days out of the month that he has to have them. So I get 4 days a month to myself where I can turn off the part of me that is a mom. Being a mother is actually a huge bonus to who I am, because there's just a sense of maturity that we have to have. And men who are like, I would never date a mom right off the bat, are already missing out on the fact that mothers just come with like a level of seriousness. And if we're trying to give you our time and attention, that's because we're serious about you.
There won't be any games? You wanting to have a man at this stage in your life when you rejected countless good men in your hoe phase is all a game. I feel sorry for any simp who falls for this BS, to be honest. The downsides of dating a single mother are almost too numerous to count. I just can't understand why any guy without kids of his own would ever even try it. I understand the appeal of blending your family if you're a single dad, but raising another man's kid? That's another story. And what about dealing with the drama, being second fiddle to her past life, and with how fickle people are these days with relationships and marriage, what exactly is the upside? There are so many women that are single and have no kids, but men consistently choose single mothers instead. I would love to ask some of these men, what exactly makes the single mom seem like a good or better choice? The truth is, there are many single, lonely, and desperate men in this world. Tons of simps who would rather be a slave to a single mother and her children than go his own way and live his own life. Many single women look for a beta bob provider who will never stand up to her and will mouth and do as he's told. And these are the kinds of men who consistently get into relationships with single mothers. Men who believe they can't do any better, so they are willing to trade their self-respect in exchange for a single mother.
My thing, I really think that people need to know, even with dating people with children, is the misconception that you're gonna be the father. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, when you're dating me, you're my child's father. Like, I want you to play the role of dad to my daughter. And I think that a lot of people feel that pressure. Like, I don't want to go into this dating dynamic because now I feel like I'm gonna be, either you're gonna play mom or you're gonna play dad. And I think that's one thing I want to make sure we say is like,
there's levels to this.
You more like an uncle. Really? You like the uncle that comes. You like the cool uncle that comes through every once in a while. She got a daddy.
And here's one thing a lot of men forget. If you really end up liking the kid, and later you end up having a breakup with the mom, it could be a double heartbreak. You started to feel like the kid's dad, but suddenly they're just gone from your life. And obviously, you don't get visitation with the kid once it's over. It's a big emotional risk to get attached to a kid you'd have no rights to ever see again after a breakup. And we aren't even talking about the emotional manipulation strategies a lot of women use. If you get attached to her child, she could also use the child against you after the breakup, causing even more emotional damage. One truth that women consistently deny, but we all know is true, is that many single mothers are not interested in getting into a relationship. A lot of single mothers do not care about you and will never develop authentic, genuine feelings for you. What many of these women want is a bailout. They've spent an entire lifetime making terrible choices, banging countless chads, and racking up crazy body counts. And now that she's been pumped and dumped and left on her own, she's looking for a nice guy, people-pleasing provider man to come in and pay for everything. She's not interested in love, she's interested in your money. And in one way, I can't blame her, because if she has a child, then that child will obviously be the #1 priority in her life. She wants structure, safety, and stability for her child. My biggest issue is that most of these women are more than willing to straight up lie about it. These women will act as though they really love you, But when the chips are down or when you lose your money, she will drop you like a bad habit. And you will not only lose her, but will also lose the child who you spend time getting close to. And for those people out there who claim that women don't use men for money in this way, let's listen to a man who has a crazy story to tell. First date, she ordered a lot of food, found out the extra food she was bringing home to her kids for dinner and expected me to pay for it. Second date, she tried the same thing. When she went to the bathroom before our food arrived, I paid for my meal and left. As far as I'm concerned, she had nothing to complain about since she got to bring mine home to her kids. She called me, pissed off I ditched her with the bill. I pointed out I paid for my food and it was fucked up she was making me pay for her kids who weren't there, and who I never met. More arguing and I told her to lose my number and hung up. I got harassing texts and phone calls for a little over a month from her and her friends about how much of a piece of shit I was. Never again. This woman clearly tried to use a man as an ATM. She didn't discuss beforehand that she expected him to pay for her children who he hasn't met yet. That is some cold and sneaky bullshit. She was fully planning to drop this bombshell on him when the check came around. But respect to this man for having the boundaries and balls to know what was going on and to walk away from it. What a boss move. He literally paid for his own food and walked out of the restaurant. I salute this man. He's a shining example of what we can aspire to be. And what happened afterwards? The same thing that happens anytime a man decides to lay some boundaries down. Female aggression, manipulation attempts, and attacks from the sisterhood. It's like these women are part of a hive mind. When you uncover and expose some of the games they play, it benefits all of them to attack you for it.
But I really don't understand how a single mom with a one-income household is supposed to survive right now.
I don't understand why all these average men are out here single when they could be coupled up helping you pay the bills, but they weren't good enough, were they? I bet they are now.
With all this inflation, high gas prices, high food prices, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. You know, a lot of ladies, even some single mothers, turn down a good, hard-working man, and they view him too average because they want these high-earning men. They don't want to work and build with a man. And now that all this is going on, all of a sudden say, where they at? Well, now these men are having the last laugh. And I don't think no men should come to their rescue at all. If you got an opportunity to get a good, hard-working man that's decent, get him. Don't pass him up. Stop acting entitled.
You will always be a second priority in her mind. I'm not blaming women for this. I'm just telling it like it is. When her child is her number one priority, she will happily drop your plans together for childcare or other responsibilities. If you have a disagreement or need to lay some boundaries down with the child, the vast majority of the time she will side with the child against you. I cannot understand why a man will openly invite this level of drama into his life when there are plenty of single women out there. Admittedly, the majority of modern women are broken, but it beats being in a relationship with a single mother any day.
Hi guys. I wanted to come on here and do a little single mom dating thing. So anyways, I don't know what's wrong with the whole millennial Gen Z generation, but it sucks. Hi. I'm 28, a single mom, just divorced, and this dating pool is like not it. I've been stood up on dates. I've been canceled on last minute after finding someone to watch my kid, and I don't get it. Like, where's the real people that want a relationship and actually want to respect women? Because I'm not finding any of that. I'm in Central Florida, so if you know anyone, let me know.
We haven't even spoken about the elephant in the room, the kid's biological father. In most cases, the kid's biological father will not be out of the picture completely. At best, he's lingering in the background, manipulating things and creating drama. At its worst, he actively chooses to sabotage your relationship and turn his child against you. In fact, that's not the worst situation. Probably the worst scenario is the one I'm about to read to you right now. Take a look at this comment. My ex had a daughter with a deadbeat dad. He hadn't been around in over a year, had a warrant out for thousands of dollars in unpaid child support, and he was living in Florida. I basically was raising his kid. My ex constantly talked shit on her ex, calling him a deadbeat, drug addict, etc., but she always said she wanted her daughter to know her father, which I understand. One day he just showed back up to the area wanting to see his kid. I was at work at the time. Anyway, I couldn't get a hold of my GF at the time all day, so I immediately thought something was up. I drove to her mom's and her mom told me where he was staying, some shitty motel. I drove over, found the room, and started banging on the door, and her ex answered. He was clearly pissed I was there. I walked in the room and my GF's clothes were balled up on the floor and she was in the shower. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize what was going on. I didn't say a word, I left and never looked back. Imagine dating a single mother and getting invested in her child only for that single mother to turn around and get ran through by her deadbeat ex who she still has feelings for. I've said it once and I will say it again. Women cheat far more than men cheat. They also have far less guilt about cheating because they're able to justify it to themselves. This is the risk that men are taking when they decide to date single mothers. No matter what she says, you can't trust the words that comes out of her mouth. You have absolutely no idea what she has done in the past and what their relationship was like. It's entirely possible that she still has feelings for him and she's just waiting for him to come around. In that situation, you are nothing but a placeholder, keeping her warm for him until he decides to enter her life again. The truth is, most single mothers don't want you. They want to be bailed out of poor life choices. This is typical of this gynocentric society that we now live in. Women can make an entire lifetime's worth of terrible decisions. Men are expected to pick up the pieces for them at great personal cost and say nothing about it. But luckily, men are waking up to this and realizing that dating a single mother is a terrible decision in almost every way. Listen to this guy and you'll know that the MGTOW philosophy is starting to make waves in the broader male community at large. Take a look at this comment. Generally, I avoid single moms and I'm in my 30s. I have nothing against them, but it complicates your life in a big way, and the cons typically outweigh the pros in my opinion. First of all, if things get serious, you're raising a kid who's not yours. You have all the responsibility, financially and otherwise, of being a father but none of the authority or benefits, and generally, the kid will never see you as his father. Second, you usually have to deal with the father, which makes things awkward and can cause a number of issues between you and your girlfriend/wife. It's the only type of relationship where continuing to keep close contact with an ex is necessary, and the dad is usually going to see you as a threat, not an asset. Third, the pecking order will always be the kid, her, the father of the kid, and then you last. Whereas when you start a family with someone, it's a group effort. You're building something together, not entering into an already complex situation and trying to fit in. If things don't work out and you become attached to the kid, you're going to be crushed, and unlike the actual dad, you won't have the ability to keep in contact with the kid. This actually happened to a close friend of mine. He became a father figure to his girlfriend kid. They became super close and then his girl cheated on him and left him. He was crushed. The kid was crushed. It was a real mess. The mom is going to have limited time to spend with you and her schedule will always come first because she has to plan around the kid. Personally, I'm a really busy guy with work and just doesn't work for me. I couldn't have said it better. This man understands the game and his words should be a warning for every man watching this. If you're thinking of dating a single mother, don't do it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. You will end up investing a ton of your limited time and energy for something that will likely blow up in your face later on down the road. Build your value, focus on your health, get your finances together, find a traditional single woman in another country. I just gave you the blueprint for a healthy, happy life. Now let's go and do it. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.